We are debating the topic, social media brings people closer, right? Social media brings people closer. On the affirmative side, we have Jesse and Marjorie from AT. Yeah! Woo! On the negative side, and his name is Alpha and Matthew from 8F.
A few moments later.
Okay, affirmative side. My partner and I affirm to the resolution that social media brings people closer. Our first criterion today is that social media can bring people closer because it can aid individuals to connect and locate people or things they have lost. On the 19th of December,
3:28 a.m.
2016, an article was published on YaleMail.com revealing how social media was the reason twins who were separate from birth came to be reunited online.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Our second contention is that social media can strengthen distant relationships, thus bringing people closer. Another factor that supports the success of LDRs is their need of an established independence. And thus, we are able to prove that social media is able to connect couples, despite distance, ocean, or space, and encourage a more powerful bond.
We'll give the negative side opportunity for think time at this moment. And when you're ready to counter, speaker one, we'd ask you to counter.
12 seconds later. 2 hours later. Eternity later.
So, today my partner and I will argue that social media in fact does not bring us closer together, but in fact does our society a great injustice. On to our counter. My opponent says that social media allows us to communicate with old friends and people who live far away. However,
Sorry, can you specify which contention you are countering at this moment?
the first.
That's not their first contention. If you read it. Okay.
My opponent says that social media can aid individuals to connect and locate people or things that they've lost. But we disagree, because more often than not, social media friends are internet predators seeking to blackmail you. Now it is time to move on to my contention. Social media can lead to crime and pornography. On September 5th, 2012, false rumors of fires, shootouts, and caravans of gunmen in Mexico City suburbs spread via Twitter and Facebook. Caused panics, flooded the local police department with over 3,000 phone calls, and temporarily closed schools. The bogus information was picked up by national news outlets, including CNN and the Weather Channel. Social media is the main platform for sending sexting is sending or receiving nude or partially nude photos or videos through the internet or cell phone. When teens engage in this risky behavior, things can go wrong. Things will go wrong. These images are easily forwarded to others. At times, these images can be considered child pornography. And some teens have already been given felony charges. Nearly 1 in 5 teens who receive a sex will send it to somebody else. And that's just one form of crime. Gangs use sites to recruit younger members, coordinate violent crimes, and threaten others. Online crime. Second contention. Social media injures how well we know ourselves as well as our mental health. In short, social media can lead to shortened attention spans and awkwardness with general face-to-face communication, especially for people with handicapped brains and attitudes. It's highly possible that social media has a hand in damaging our inward lives.
Thank you. Marjorie, when you're ready.
1 hour later.
I want to counter question 1 with environment.
Shush.
From
Get away from me.
a relationship talk that
Please.
it is a problem. We know that. That he is a problem. And that is why they have taught us that in the first place.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Here, here.
Bravo. Social media brings people closer to providing a platform that allows for strangers to become close friends. Strangers that would not have met otherwise had it not been for social media. Imagine if we had to talk to each other through letters like in the old ages. A conversation imagine a group chat with 4 friends sending cat names. And only 5 messages would now have the cost of $9.25. Therefore, in reality, the accessibility and ability to be able to talk to anyone for almost nothing brings people together. Despite whatever distance between them, that could be a few kilometers to a large precipitation line.
2 hours later.
I'd now like to move on to my contentions. Social media can affect us in a whole lot of different ways, but as the evidence shows, social media can affect our successful life. Social media can negatively affect our educational performance. According to the 2010 study done by Oxford, students who use social media have an average GPA of 3.06, while non-users have an average GPA of 3.82. My next contention is that social media can destroy our emotions. How we appear to others is the most common form of judgment. When it becomes clear that each person is meaningful to us, as our external identity can be destroyed or negatively impacted by social media.
20 minutes later.
The following research I will share suggests that online harassment is actually also not as common as offline harassment, which can counter contention 4, which tells us that social media affects our emotions.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
One of social media's main purposes is to encourage people to be social on a media platform. And of course, to rebut your statement made on contention 2, you say that we do not know if people on social media are actually trying to be our friends, and if they're not just trying to use you. Well, the following is results from a study done by Jeff Hancock. Saying perhaps every person you encounter on social media are perhaps serial killers or mass dangerous criminals is too much of an over-exaggeration.
Fallacy.
It's almost like saying that
Alpha, wait for your turn, please.
2 hours later.
social media does not define humanity. Yet it has the power to refine us.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
12 seconds later.
I apologize for calling fallacy while my opponent was speaking. That was very disrespectful.
Thank you, Alpha.
Thanks.
Now that it is my time to speak, I would like to call fallacy on my opponent. Actually, sorry, I lied to you. Time to install 2 fallacies.
2 hours later.
There are so many things we can only express in words that text simply cannot communicate. Imagine a world where human speech becomes obsolete, to be replaced with a dangerous network of machines. We have to fight for human speech, for the safety and integrity of our world, for the lives and the future of our peers, for outward and inward souls, for the commuting of people. My partner and I have proven that human speech is a precious thing that we must not let go of, and a shield against this social media that seeks to tear our world, our culture, and our souls apart.